3. Ginny and Fresh, thank you all very much for your kind words. Kind words? Were they kind words? I don't know. Wise words, we'll go with.
Anne and Ginny had some wise words.
You're not thinking Fresh was wise words?
Who?
Fresh was sat on the fence there a little bit, wasn't he? Didn't want to give a prediction. Sounded like you, really.
Me?
Yeah, you never like giving a prediction either.
No, I don't know.
Difficult one to call this though. Falcons versus NIP.
Well,
you've got the up-and-comers versus some seasoned veterans on the other side.
I'm going to use your logic.
Go on.
Map who wins, or team who wins map number 2 wins map number 3.
It is usually a good little benchmark to roll with inside of a best of 3. We don't often see a team come back, especially after it's such a long, drawn-out affair like Cafe was.
Obviously, Villa yesterday for NIP was a win, but a hard-fought win at that. It wasn't the cleanest from them. M80 struggled, NIP struggled. Some cracking rounds in that game, of course, but NIP, I think, I would say they choked it more than probably what M80 did. I think there was more times where M80 were able to come back from behind, and that's obviously going to be down to NIP just throwing.
Yeah, I mean, NIP have been throwing a lifeline here. Oh, look at what we've seen. We've finally got it. We've finally got the castle ban against NIP. Falcons choosing to remove the castle here.
Yeah.
NIP love a castle. It's present in a lot of their defending setups. So it does make a good amount of sense to take it away. Obviously, we won't see the true impact of that until the first 6 rounds have been played. And of course, NIP will switch on to the defense as they start tonight here on Villa on the attack.
They do indeed. Aviator and Games is our first bomb side up. Villa as a generic map, Ollie, we've seen it kind of develop over time, where it was kind of very slow. You had to take this, then you had to take that, and then you kind of try and execute, but it's a little bit tricky because they're C4s that you have to burn through. I feel as though teams have really picked up the pace now in Villa. We see teams enter in very early towards that top floor, maybe getting into a bedroom, taking the opening engagements. Study take towards main stair it's kind of thing of the past now, isn't it? You don't really see that as of much. I think basement has really came into fashion. A lot of teams have been sending players down there. Late rotates towards basement as well have worked well. So yeah, there's certainly a lot of options for the attackers compared to maybe what there was, a few years ago whenever we first seen it get introduced naturally. NIP, we've seen a little bit of their lineup. As apologies everyone, we do have a crash, a bit of a rehost. Again, do we blame Medic Sneezy for that again, or?
I don't know, it's been a bit of a recurring theme, isn't it?
Well, they've got a new Disciple with them at this event as well. They've got Sky, who comes all the way from Australia. Friends with our good friends, Mr. Dev Martin as well. He's one of his boys.
Very nice.
Takes them all around the world traveling. He loves it. Saying you love traveling with Dev Martin, well, that makes one of us.
Well, we'll get ourselves back into the game very quickly, I am sure. There's not too much to rebuild there, given that we haven't seen the conclusion of round number 1 yet. We only got to see the first couple of seconds, really, of the setup. It will, of course, have to be the same site. Same operators, same utility. I don't think that this is really going to benefit either side in the grand scheme of things, because they kind of know what you're going into. You've not really seen too much. We're likely going to be seeing that top side clear from NIP, getting themselves into bedroom, as you say. We don't see the sort of study take all too often. It's still very important to have somebody in study or on the balcony.
What you do is you take whatever it is you want to go for, maybe take 90, take red stairs, yada, yada, yada. And then roughly around what, minute mark, I would say, that's where we get the rotate in then.
Yep.
Just to apply pressure from study, you have to remember, if you've taken red stairs and you've taken 90, you're trying to go for a maps plan. The issue with maps is you are walking into 2 different angles. You have the guys in sight behind the bar, but then you also have, if there's a player in study, he can lock you down from the doorway. So that's why you need to add in that extra layer. Again, this is how the meta is. You need to apply pressure from every possible angle you can find.
That's something that NIP have been kind of good at in some rounds, and they've been kind of bad at it in others.
Consistency has been an issue.
It has been a little bit of a problem. Get a little reload. We're getting some drinks.
Just to stay.
Some coffee, maybe.
Yeah, nice to keep the caffeine up. Chumps, getting it in him.
Getting it in him. He was sat on the floor at the start of this game. I think he was feeling it.
Oh, I would say with the kind of inconsistencies that you've mentioned about NIP, he's a little bit stressed.
It must be really difficult to watch.
It's like, yes, it's good, but it's not as good as what we want it to be. We're getting, a little bit lucky here and there.
NIP have played some rounds today and yesterday where you look at them and you go, is this the best team in the world?
Mate.
And then they just fall off a cliff the next few rounds.
NIP, we've always said this about NIP. NIP are a team where sometimes you can't understand how they've won the map. You can't understand how they've won the game. You look at SI21 run. I'm still figuring out how they won that competition. You know what I mean? Because it was just clutch after clutch, impossible wins after impossible wins. That's what Magic's made. That's what dreams are made of.
It really is.
That's what powers this game, everyone. Dreams.
Well, it looks as though we've got everyone back into the lobby, so cross your fingers and toes. Everything runs smoothly from here on out. As mentioned, it will be the same site. It will likely be the same operators. I'm trusting the players at this point because I cannot exactly remember
missing a lion.
all 10.
There was a lion in there.
Is there a lion in the lineup?
Hang on a minute.
Hold up.
I demand a
1
recount.
second. Did we have the Frost first run round? Don't recall. We'll leave the admins to do their job and we will do ours. We will just talk about what we see on the screen in front of us. We are going to see that extension over into the master side. Got a couple of reinforcements there on the study wall. Little Cade Claw to provide a little bit of security, and JLad is going to go in and just place a couple of those very frustrating frost maps.
Yeah, happens the odd time, haven't we? I think NIP, we've seen on Villa, it's certainly something that has caught them up in the past. Even Falcons, they sometimes struggle. Everyone struggles against Frost, doesn't it?
Everyone struggles. If you look at the, I'm not sure what the stats are as of recently, but I know historically it's always been a case that the Frost actually catches more people out the higher the elo you get, just because you've got even fewer seconds to respond and all of those sort of things. So yeah, it is something that usually catches people out because you don't want to take your eyes off the angle.
Let me phone my stats guy. Hey Siri, call Jesse J. Chick.
Your phone will actually do that, so you need to be careful. It does appear as though we have another rehost underway. The game doesn't want us to play Villa tonight.
Nope.
What do we do? Do we just toss a coin? Do we have rock, paper, scissors?
Send both of them in.
How are we gonna whittle these two teams down to one?
So what we do is we'll combine the teams, and then they go on to play M80.
I think we could do something that's never been done before.
Not M80, they play BDS.
You could have 5 players that play defense, 5 players that play attack. We take it like NFL do.
Who would we have and what? I would say attack, NIP, defense, Falcons.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I think that'd be a good team.
I'd say so. That's actually one of your better ideas you've had. Actually, would be very interesting.
It'd be a great show match, that wouldn't it? Be a wonderful show match. You've got 20 people. You have 5 people on
10-man
side.
rosters.
Yeah, 10-man rosters. Split down the middle. Your brain's ticking now. You're thinking like, how can we game show this?
I'm trying to think. You know, can I make the most busted team in the world?
Well, probably. But then, right. So look at some of the best players. Who would you have on what side?
Well, I have W7M attacking.
Right.
That's a guarantee. And then defense-wise, who would I stick in defense?
But I'm talking if you could mix teams.
If you can mix teams. Well,
that's when things would get really.
Then you're just asking me to pick 10 players, 10 of my favorite players. No problem.
No, but they've got to be like stand out on attack or defense. So, for example, someone like Brede, I would pick him for defense.
Well, right. So if we're going,
or would you pick him for attack?
If you're going for defense, you're sticking in Brede.
Yeah.
He's straight in, right? I think then you're probably looking at KZ.
Right. We've got to have some players out of this game as well.
You need a castle or psychos there.
Or if you need a dock.
Or a dock.
If your lineup's going to include a dock, maybe we'll get Psycho in on the action. I think we are loading back into the game now. Yes, right. 3rd time is a charm, surely. Lucky number 3.
Again, there's no Blackbeard in that lineup. Look, Lion's back. He was there. Look. These boys think I'm getting old.
And now we haven't got the Frost. Maybe that was the problem.
No, was that the issue?
Maybe that was the problem.
Yeah, it was the wrong lineup.
So Medics has just confirmed it was the wrong lineup from defenders.
We're not going crazy.
We are not actually going. That is really satisfying now. I'm actually relieved. I don't feel like I've lost my mind.
Hey, they've tried to pull a fly one on us. I'd say if it wasn't for us probably picking that up, that could have went. That could have went through.
I think that went straight to the top as soon as we said it.
Honestly.
I think that Medics got on the line and was like, look,
If Demo and Ollie saying it, it must be right.
We've spotted a problem. But at least we've got everything correct this time.
He's took the credit. That's the issue. Medics just took the credit for that. He thinks he's chief admin now. Telling you.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
I almost don't want to start talking about it just in case. I don't want to test fate. I'm
waiting for
sort of watching it with bated breath.
Oh, Kills. Maybe going to go for the... Is he going for the 90 window jump out spawn peek? This is a classic. I don't know what he's watching for. Watching for something, but I don't think anyone's home. You know, Falcons, obviously we've seen last game, they're not afraid of the old spawn peek, and I actually did catch NIP out by surprise.
Yeah.
One of the main points that I made before we came into this series was the opening kill department and how strong NIP were against Falcons yesterday. Today it's been very equal.
Yeah, it feels
It's been a great entry battle today.
It's good to see that Falcons have corrected that as well, because that would have been real easy to just sort of keep falling into that trap. Passage into Master isn't a given this time. You're really going to have to work for it.
No, obviously there was walls being reinforced, then you have that long angle onto the walk-in window. If anyone tries to go for the jump in, Ollie, can be shredded. P10 Roni, a strong gun really in the 1v1s, not much else though. Doesn't have the ammo capacity to do much else. That wall will be opened up with the Selma charges. Now, Jalad has to back off just a little bit. He can still play the same angle though, Ollie. It's not as if he's in a position where he has to run away. He can still hold on to that walk-in. In comes the Brava. Will pick up a bit of utility here and there, looking for maybe some more, and he should be able to spot at Mozzie now. He will be droned and Jalad will fall back. But look at the time, Ollie. Half the round gone, and NIP, what have they got to show for it? Oh, a death.
Look at him go. J-Lad's done such a good job of holding ground there. It would have been so easy to back up as soon as the Selma charges started to open up that wall, but instead he stuck around and he's picked himself up a kill. He's allowed now to dip himself back a little bit further toward the site. Okills didn't see the same level of success. He actually got taken out relatively early there by Cons, but a lot of damage has been done. NIP, they've spent quite a bit of the clock here, and they still feel as though they're not certain. They're still hunting these stray players.
Muzi has to try and get a kill back, and obviously 90 is going to be where he wants to try and go, but downstairs, Joker, he's been so good at just being in these weird positions, and NIP are not ready for it. And that's what you should do against NIP, just make them always think. Apply that pressure, because NIP, we know they're an easy team to crack, aren't they?
Muzi with a bit of a heads-up play there, but it isn't actually going to work out for him. I think he thought he could catch Joker off guard. Joker has since activated that Fenrir gadget, so potential there for Cons to struggle. P9, he just Ferrari beaks onto Psycho. And Cons, he's got a lot of work to do here. The gadget going to give his location away, going to go for a full rotation here, and he gets caught from Fenrir Trap into Malusi Banshee. Not the best position to be in, especially with the time available. Only one Falcons player needs to stay alive. There's going to be three that peek him. P9 picks up that final kill.
Yeah, Jalad, I think, done a lot of work at all in the early game. It runs down the clock for NIP. We know that's their old enemy that they always have to go against. And yeah, then Joker downstairs just in these wrap positions that works really well against NIP. And NIP have already showcased today that they will just get flustered. They will panic, and it will just set in that they need to do something. A perfect example, of course, was Muzi. Just bare necks it right down the main corridor, doesn't even think about it, and just gets shredded as he does so. So Falcons, a good start for them. NIP, a little bit too slow off the mark. They need a bit more cutthroat as they start to move their way in through bedroom. It shouldn't be taking them that long. They didn't even get a kill for it as well. Just a bad round overall from NIP. If you start off bad, it's a big likelihood that you probably will finish bad.
2 frost mats on the walk-in window. Of course, the frost.
You get the first and then the second guy.
Well, you're going to get both. Can't shoot them both. But you can.
10 seconds to go.
Gotta be quick though.
If you're quick enough.
Gotta be quick.
5 seconds left.
See the pulse come in and the Valkyrie. So a lot of information. And you know, what's one operator that we've talked about that Pino has played non-stop on the attack?
Flores? IQ. Muzi plays a lot of IQ.
Is it Muzi?
It was Muzi yesterday.
Yeah, it was Pino today, wasn't it? Pino's playing a bit of IQ today.
They play anything. Very flexible.
And you just think, where is it today? Or on this map?
No, they've left it in the back pocket, and I don't think you can afford to do that. You know that Solus is going to be a perma pick by O-Kills. I don't really think he's played anyone else on the defense.
I can't think of one that
He absolutely loves that P90.
2 C4s. 3 ways of, honestly 4 ways if you throw in the bulletproof of getting that information to abuse said C4s. P9's got out of dodge, was looking for an early engagement in towards bedroom, doesn't get anything from it though. NIP pretty direct in what they want to achieve. No wall denial, so it's quite easy for Cons to open up everything. Getting the wall open isn't like the hardest thing for the attackers. It's something that should happen every single time. The main issue is actually trying to clear out the back of Trophy. I think Trophy is probably one of the more tougher rooms you have to deal with, because there isn't really like, there isn't a great way of dealing with players inside of Trophy other than taking a gunfight. It's very rare you would see like, oh, there's going to be a perfect nade set up for this, or a stun, or a smoke grenade will go over and cover it. It's very difficult. You know, you have those kind of 2 archways. You can peek left, you can peek right. You have the middle to give you cover. You can go prone and not be seen. The only thing you have to worry about is maybe someone jumping in Wolf window, which if you jump in a window, that's already asking for trouble. Very, very difficult room for the attacker to deal with.
Who's going to try and sneak his way in through this basement here? J-Lad. Ambitious C4 there. He might want to try and recover that.
He finds Muzi, because Muzi could just come up and just bash the door beside him and pantry and get a freebie.
Absolutely, and Muzi knows that there's going to be a pulse play in there as well. There's only so much that you can do from below once you've spent those C4s. O-Kills, he'll pay no heed to the E1D and instead will just make his rotation known. Muzi. He picks his time to strike, gets a glimpse on a second. What a shot onto O-Kills. He can now move his way up to the top of those red stairs. J-Lad, you've got to make that rotation because you're leaving your teammate light on the site. Tries to rotate Astro, but he's unable to do so. Cannot get past the player on rappel.
Muzi showcasing that basement again, and we mentioned it earlier. It's grown in popularity. During the later stages, teams will send someone down there just to see what they can get up to, and he's found 2 kills. Found 2 kills for his trouble. Falcons just didn't react quick enough for that. You know, as soon as you lose that roamer who was kind of towards red, who was, I would say, the middleman between helping the roamers and then also being able to go and help on site, you then kind of lose that reinforcement of having someone to move back in sight and assist as the flood comes in.
Much better round there from NIP. It's more used to what we're seeing them do at the start of games. They do tend to start off quite strong here.
I always feel as though Psycho's like one of the most like expressions on his side, you know. Facial expressions are just in all of him.
He's very similar to Spoit in that regard.
What was the other one we were watching? It was like, he was like, the eyes were bulging out of his head and he was like scared almost. You know what I'm talking about?
I can't remember.
I think we've seen it and I think we had a good laugh at it. It was actually hilarious. And I think Spoit, he's getting along there as well with some of the things he does.
I think all of Spoit's facial expressions can just be categorized by oops.
He does it on purpose.
Yeah.
Plays up to the
Very good at it. Round number 3, I'm going to be attempting statue and trophy again.
Yep. Bit of a different approach maybe from NIP. A lot of them spawning over towards ruins, Ollie. Could be looking for a south side clear into study that will try and sweep across. Falcons, do they have much for it? Do they have many players in a good position? Is there a study hold that Falcons can maybe see if they can quell that attack before it happens? They will have some form of support downstairs towards the living room. And I mean, O-Kills, he's finding out some information. He can see some players on the drones. He'll probably be able to feed this back to Jokers. There is a man inside a study. He is by himself. Unless you want to count the gadgets with him, and they might act as his help in a sense.
There's a great little early warning system in there. It's very similar to a goo mine or something of that nature. You can see the...
Speaking of goo mines, you got that as well.
Lighting up red. Muzi, successful with the nade from below. Were they stood on top of the hatch? Surely not. At any rate, the hatch is open.
Surprised.
Joker has been taken down. We might be about to see a little bit more attention here be paid into that aviator and games room area now they know that it's a little bit lighter there on defender presence. Cons has got a pretty tough task ahead of him here on that solo push.
Yeah, he
has to be really cautious with that.
Let's get that wall open, but he's actually since then rotated away, so all of NIP and their pressure is actually coming in from that south side. But again, the time Ollie's going to be against them. a minute to go. Sure, they've got the main wall open, but they haven't really made an approach towards 90. They're still trying to check to make sure no one's inside study. The drones are starting to move their way in. And they've kind of limited themselves now, Ollie, to pushing doorways, which isn't the greatest thing to do. They need to get somebody rotated towards bedroom ASAP. As you can see, the defenders, they realize there's no one on the balcony, and they've retaken towards bedroom. I want to see someone rotate there. I need to see someone rotate there.
Psycho, he's got all the information that has been gathered now by both the drones and the Iana clone. 30 seconds, though. Isn't a great deal of time. P9, he may be in the hot seat here to find the first. He will do just exactly that. Doesn't hold the angle long enough to pick up onto Wizard, but can just dip back a little bit. The Lion scan isn't going to matter. Everyone knows where he is at this point, and Cons has got a very tough ask ahead of him. Tries to push through the single door, but is unable to do so. Muzi picks up 3. One with the nade and a couple with the gun, but he's got a lot more left to find here. The kit is not in the hands of either of these attackers, and Pino is searching. Eventually, Quibs finds him. Pre-fires as he might, but Muzi is unsuccessful there. Running out of time. NIP.
Another one of those rounds that, again, I think Chubbs is going to be annoyed about. Because they started off well, they got the opening pick, they got Study immediately, but they never really moved fast enough to exploit that. They sent Cons over towards bedroom. He then leaves bedroom. Defenders retake that, and then they're stuck to pushing in towards single doorways, which does not work. The map, see teams who try and push in towards north, and only north, and try and push in via 2 doorways. It never works. This angle that P9's on behind the bomb is massive. It's really difficult to go against that.
Quibs is just waiting as well for someone to hop in through that window and just hit him with the knife or whatever it might be. Falcons making it look easy there, but reacting incredibly well. It would have been so easy for them to continue to worry about that master bedroom and to think, oh, well, they might.
It was a smart play. Just
happening.
Commit to it. You take the risk.
Retake the ground and turn your attention to where they're coming from.
5 seconds to insertion.
Back we go. Aviator and Games.
Same extension.
Well, the same extension we saw in the second time we saw the first round, which was the incorrect lineup time. But now we can bring the frost, so everything's fine.
And then now we're also seeing a study take.
And we're just going to go up main stairs.
Seeing a study take with a
Why
Monty.
not?
You've got the floors as well, which is going to be great to eliminate that deployable shield that could be sitting in top main. I mean, it's not the greatest lineup in terms of defense to really hold main stairs. You probably want like a Wamai and a Jaeger to stack up a lot of utility. But like I said, because it's probably fallen out of favor, teams don't even bother with that anymore. So Falcons have been playing, I think, a very loose Villa in terms of their roam presence downstairs. Again, Joker, who just covered every blade of grass. If this was a pitch, he would have covered all of it. The heat map would be off the charts. Oh, I'd love to see a heat map in this game. Could you imagine?
It'd be so good. It will be so good. It isn't going to be so easy to just walk up these main stairs with the amount of presence that is below here. Now, of course, we can use the Monty to bully through and to
get the info, yeah.
Get a little bit of that info and be able to act on it. But again, it isn't the easiest thing in the world. Hello, Cons!
Well, I know he's there.
He saw that at the last possible second. Right,
Don't shield. No,
shield.
No.
If you're going to one-shield, play Blitz.
I'm sorry.
Honestly, at this, he gets the headshot through the soft wall. Obviously, yeah, of course. Like, he's playing Monty like Blitz. Kill down on either side. 4 versus 4. Quibs. Got a C4 in hand. He's probably going to look to try and toss this onto those main stairs.
Oh, that's good damage.
Great attempt and a good chunk of damage.
Because he now potentially dies to an impact. I don't know what the damage calc is. I feel as though I've died at that HP to an impact, so I'm assuming that Cons will also. Depends if O-Kills is in a position to do so. You can see this information. They're actually using the Monty as a human drone to feed information off sound cues to where Pino has to buck. Love it.
It'd be great if Cycle was still alive and had a couple of nades for this as well, because then you'd really be able to start causing some problems. Pino can open up the lines of sight, but players can move, and it might not have the desired effect. Cons, he can sneak his way in. Pino, he's got a big job to play here. For all the information that he's still got work to do. Moose is going to get taken out there by Joker. Wizard, he's pushed up toward 90. maybe looking for a little bit of a backstab
Another
here.
pistol.
Cons finds himself a second kill on the round with the pistol. Where's the support? You've got to come in here, Wizard. Pino, he's there to back his teammate up, and O-Kills is now left to try and fend this plant from going down. Cons, he's over 50% complete with the plant. He's got a little bit of information onto Wizard's location, but instead has to hit that reload. He's going to navigate through, past these main stairs potentially. But with the Monty, it's very difficult to lose a post plant. Even if you get into that 1v1, you can always just bully the defender. O-Kills trying for all he might, but NIP, they don't need to do too much here. Pino, he's going to be rewarded for holding the long angle. Psycho's pleased with that one.
He is indeed. Cons. Honestly, I love that play from the Monty, using that information with the buck below. It made it look so easy. It's a great way of clearing in towards the back of bar, even towards Vault as well. And, you know, again, he's very risky, going for the pistol kills. But it did force, like, the guy was just in the middle of the room. It forced him in because he was getting buck below.
He's getting booked below. There's pressure coming in from that side. You've then got the Monty, which is always just going to add that level of, oh my goodness, what do I do?
Yeah.
Really well played. I think it's just stressful to watch. I think you just think of the Monty as like, just extend your shield, just stand there and be annoying, feed the information. The pistol is the weakest part of Monty.
Yeah.
Dropping the shield and getting the pistol out is the weakest part of Monty. It's the most vulnerable position that you can put yourself in playing that operator. And Cons does it and gets kills with it, and it's just stressful.
It is.
Wall reinforced.
They went for it again.
10 seconds to go.
They brought in the Monty. Wouldn't be surprised if they try maybe the same push. Like, they got control of Study and main stairs like immediately just because that's what Monty does and that's what he's really good at.
They don't have the book this time.
They don't have the bucks. That does lead us to believe that they will try and go for a sweep. So let's see how the other end of the map will do them.
The Monty would be really beneficial to be dealing with the sort of reinforced wall, and if we think back to how J-Lab was playing on the Mozzie in one of the early rounds, dealing with that player inside of statuary.
It's the information that I think is so key for NIP. It's if they know where a player is, you know, they will exploit that. I think the Monty is a part of that. It's a part of this side. You know, sure, we may sit here and joke about, oh, they always bring the Monty and old reliable and all this, but they are a very strong team with it. You know, they're up there with one of the best in the world. As a Monty side, there's only a few teams who can do that, and not just do it, but do it extremely well. And I think NIP fit that category.
A lot of offside presence here from Falcons. Psycho, he'll be rewarded in the opening stages of the round. Hanging around the bottom of those main stairs at main entrance. Wizard, got a nice line of sight in on through concrete door. This is where you're going to be looking to try and get your Monty in and start to feed a little bit of that information across, but as the Monty goes in, the Monty will be taken out. O-Kills finds him there from below. Great use of the impacts.
Muzi is in, looking to see if he can gain control of that top red and locked into the frost mat. It was coming. We knew it was coming. It had to happen.
He's got the diffuser as well. The diffuser's just in no man's land right now. O-Kills picks himself up a second. He can go for a full rotate up main stairs if he wants at this point. He's done his job and more out there on the roam. Psycho and Pino, they've got to try and pick up the pieces of this shattered round. Really isn't going to be easy. There might be a minute left on the clock, but look at what they've got to wade through here, Demo.
It's a mire. It is a mire of futility. Gates, barbed wire, a DMR waiting for you. And Pino all by himself. I mean, NIP, they've tried to almost orchestrate a similar play where, oh, let's just send the Monty in and let him do work. Hasn't happened this time around. I think the Monty is more suited for that study take because, again, it's a lot easier to control, I feel, for a Monty. Moving in towards, you know, main stairs where you know you have to watch like one angle. Whereas if you move like a Monty into this position right here where Pino is, that's like, it's a crossroads. There's 4 different angles you have to worry about.
Pino's done a great job to collect the diffuser and pick up a couple of kills, but you just can't help but think this is going to be too difficult to pull off. And there it is, we're right, the clock at his back, pressing him forward. Quibs on the other side, waiting to collect. Falcons, they grab themselves around.
3-2. Final round of the half. NIP. They'll get a chance to go on the defense soon enough, and we'll see how that castle ban obviously influences them.
Bomb diffuser has
You know, that's just, again, just trying to get the Monty in too quick.
been dropped.
Not checking things.
Yeah, that was that was when the round started to fall apart, wasn't it? You bring in the Monty, you've got a very clear idea. There's not a lot of room for plan B and C, and you can't afford to lose it like that.
Yeah, it's like trying to organize something for a person and they don't show up. Let's say I organized that surprise birthday party and you didn't show up. What's the point?
I mean, it wouldn't be as much of a problem because you'd still be able to have a party.
But you're not there. Oh yeah, what am I supposed to do? A big banner that says Happy Birthday Ollie.
10 seconds left before insertion.
I don't know.
Wasted money on that.
5 seconds.
Capcan. Is the Capcan the answer?
I
don't know if there's a sort of dying need to bring the Capcan. I kind of like it from J-Lad.
Look at Psycho. Here we go. Look at the lineup. I think it comes in as well. So, this is where I do fear for NIP, because we've seen them do it yesterday, but is this the right time where they go for it? Mostly because I'm seeing Capcan traps, and that's an issue if you're a blitz. Yeah, it's probably a good idea from NIP, but it's bad timed in a sense because they have the Capcan. One thing as well that they've also decided to bring in is for the Finka, and the thing about Finka is good for the rush is not only do you get the extra HP boost, but the odd time in the rush, there will be downs that will happen whenever you're dealing with gunfights. The revive can be massive as well. People forget about that.
Yeah, the revive can be the difference between winning a round and losing it if you get someone up in a fortunate position. Look at Muzi moving his way up the pantry stairs, moving quite quietly. I don't think anyone's got any idea that he's coming. P9, he's going to suffer. Muzi immediately hits the boost, and that's almost the go button here for NIP. Psycho, he's going to try and get himself in on the action. Muzi's not got a great deal of health, but he's going to push on regardless. Stuns getting sent out as well as J-Lad tries to work vertically. We can see there that Wizard is reluctant to push himself in, but kills are going to fly into Joker. He picks up one onto Cons, one onto Muzi. Well, where is the blitz in this fray? You're expecting the blitz to be the spearhead of this push, and it just isn't happening. Cut down by O-Kills, leaving us in a 2 versus 1. J-Lad, he's got a lot of work to do here, levels things up. Look at the time that's left on the clock. There is an eternity here for this 1 versus 1.
Look at the HP. Not a lot between both of them. Pino has a singular flashbang. It's just will flash him, but no, J-Lad swings at the perfect time. A huge 1v1. NIP, they've attempted a rush. It hasn't worked. Falcons have stood their ground, Ollie. And now they lead with an even heftier gap.
4-2 split at the half. It's a substantial lead here for the Falcons moving into their attacking phase. And it all started so well.
I have to question Psycho. I didn't see enough of Psycho in that round where we should be. I don't agree with sending Psycho in through Memo. I think if you're sending the blitz through anywhere, it should be in towards Pantry.
Yeah.
That should be, it'd be straight in Pantry stairs, because then you get a kind of like, you just get like sit behind the bomb with a shield. You get to call information then from that stage as well. If someone comes down China, you rush at him. You have very little to worry about.
Falcons happy with the way that they played that one, and they should be. Moving now on to the attack.
The location of a bomb.
Now, if we throw back to the start of this game, we were saying that Falcons have banned out the castle. The castle being something that NIP have really shown quite a liking to. Maybe not for aviating games, but certainly in trophy and statuary, it's something that they would play. So it's going to force them to change things up just a little bit.
Ready for company deploying ADS. ADS deployed and ready to go. My magnets will protect us.
A little cheeky frostbite behind the vault wall as well, or the vault door, should I say. So it was a horrible one for those last second moments in the round.
We have the observation blockers coming in for NIP, which is a strategy that we've seen them use yesterday. It worked really well against M8. M8 has struggled massively with dealing with that top red stairs. It's a position where you will see a lot of traffic with the drones, and comboing that with the mute jammers, it's a deadly combination. It just means there's no vision towards that side of the map.
Real similar to the way that they use them on Cafe inside a shop as well. It's a very it feels like a very similar area of the map, you know, top red, cafe shop, like it serves that same purpose. It's not somewhere that anyone spends a great deal of time as an attacker, but you do tend to use that as a springboard to moving on. It is often a very key place to try and get clear, especially if you're going to put a drone in and around that 90 corridor. You're going to lose a lot of value out of that flank drone.
Falcons now. See if they want to eye up this main stairs push in towards Study, of course. They have to go for the Wamai. Wizard is in good shape, has plenty of utility. This is what I mean. Teams will sometimes bring in the ADSs, will bring in the Wamais, has the shields. Using the vertical angles, Cons eliminates G-Lad, and down goes the Flores drones. And Cons in for another one, but almost gets taken out. P9 was ready for him.
Be careful on those reverse angles.
Stuck in a 4v5, Ollie, and I think for Falcons, you need more pressure than just walking up the stairs. You need to see some players in towards Study now.
Where's the info? You should know that somebody's playing at the top of these stairs. You can't just be walking up there on a guess and a prayer that, you know, it's going to be clear or that Wizard's going to be looking the wrong way. Joker, he's now going to try his hand and move himself up, but he's going to meet the same fate. Wizard, the master of the stairs, nobody shall pass. He's taking a good chunk of damage, but he's got a couple of kills for his troubles. Quibs eventually swings in and shuts him down, but it feels like a little bit too little too late. That needs to be working in conjunction with the first player that's going up the stairs.
Yeah, no kills. Finally has control of said stairs, but at what cost? They've lost their entire army to try and get that position. Quibs has walked his way in towards Study. I'm surprised he hasn't been swung from the doorway at the moment, but I guess it's Moosey trying to just get back in towards bomb site. He was the player towards top red, which we mentioned was a strategy that NIP like to employ, but the Falcons now, they're running out of options. There has been a down. Pino is on the floor struggling. Will be finished off by Quiz, but with 10 seconds to go, Ollie, with positions being unchecked. There's a C4 from Cons, and Quibs just trying to look for that Jaeger, but no, Moosey's there with a swing. Chubbs is loving that one. Good round to get them back in the swing and things for his defense.
Very important to win that first round, especially when you're 4-2 down. You don't want to let that slip too hard. Keep it level, keep it to within a round. And I think it just goes to show Falcons with that approach. That's one of the reasons why we very rarely see a study-sided approach anymore, because taking those main stairs can be a nightmare. If you don't bring a shield, if you don't bring a load of utility to get rid of that player at the top of main stairs, you're going to have a tough time. And Wizard showed us exactly why. If you're not going to bring the shield, you're going to have to push through Master.
Yeah, I think with that lineup, it's a lot easier just going from the sweep, isn't it? It just is. You need a lot more of an oomph, I would say. I mean, Ying is up. Ying's a great operator if you want to go for the study side.
Oh, there's so many options available for going for a study side, but you can't do it with such a, I don't want to use the word basic lineup, but there's nothing in there that makes you go, oh, that's the spearhead. That's what we're going to play around. You know, we're going to play around the Blitz Shield, we're going to play around the Glass, the Ying, whatever it might be. There's nothing in that lineup that Falcons are bringing that you're thinking, yeah, let's play around that.
10 seconds to go.
Means they pay the price, they lose their first attack. But now they have to try and go up against the trophy statuary, mixed in with, of course, a generous helping of reinforced walls towards the Aviator Games, as there will be a form of defender presence towards that side of the map. It's what we like to see, and it's what we expect to see from NIP. They fully reinforced triple wall, I haven't seen that in a long time, Ollie. I suppose they have the Kite Claw, which, with Thatcher being banned, and it's almost you're taking the risk and seeing, you know, will they play impact EMPs? Falcons, I don't really think have been interested in that today. They've been all about the nades. We've always seen them run 6 sets of nades. So it would be very rare to see them even, you know, orchestrate a hard breach, let alone EMP grades.
Yeah. Hard breach isn't really something that's on Falcon's radar. It isn't something that's in their arsenal.
They've read into it, it's good.
The fact that NIP have read into that is fantastic, because it makes Master really difficult to contend now, because again, you're just getting pushed through single doorways.
That's it. It's single doorways for that bomb site. On both, you have issues with. You have to walk through Astro. You have to walk in through, obviously, Concrete Door as well. It's not easy. It just isn't. And again, all them doors can be held by Trophy, which is the most important room and the most difficult room that you need to try and gain control of. Looks as if they're going to probably try and clear out Trophy from below using nades, as once again Falcons have got their players in position. All they need now is a bit of info. You always say there's some issues sometimes trying to go for the vertical nades with the big long logs, isn't it, in the ceiling?
Villa can be a tricky one for the vert nades. You think of it as a map that's got so many options for vertical nades because so much of it's destructible, but what you've got to remember is, if you look at the ceiling, it's horrible. It's a maze. It's not flat. You've got to be really careful about where you bounce those nades off. Fortunately for J-Lad, he's pretty good at it. And he's able to take Psycho down on the first attempt.
Psycho's having a rough time. Bit of a stinker game from him. 1-6. Loses out on the nade. And Will Wizard, he's tried to gain the kill back. He too has been eliminated. Moosey's downstairs. He's in the bathroom down below. Ollie, how has he ended up there? Another kill comes in for NIP. They've fought back. They've been able to quell that onslaught. The Falcons were trying to drop downstairs below. And now it is going to be an even man count as we head into the 45-second mark. But for Falcons, what have they really got control of, Ollie? It's similar to what NIP were struggling with. A lot of time, a lot of utility wasted, but what have you got to show?
At the end of the day, they're still going to have to push through this single door inside of concrete. Quibs might know that someone's there. If you know he's there, just hit the pre-fire. It's a soft cabinet. You're going to be able to take him out easily. The laser gate will be reactivated. Joker is in position to take Cons down. Moosey has to now start to move back into Trophy here. Pino gets a good bit of damage, but not the finishing blow. It's left down to the Pino show once again, but Quibs, he's able to find the final 2 kills required. Even 3-3 at the half, single doorways or not. Falcons going to come away with that one.
Falcons didn't really do anything too flashy. They followed their protocol of going below and getting the nades. It was great nades from below, of course. And NIP really tried hard to get the kills back. But then whenever you start dragging people away, you almost lose your foothold in what you would have in the site. That's what it feels like. You know, Moosey dropping down here below, then he has to rotate all the way back in. He's kind of locked out because Joker is then holding that doorway. Quibs is holding that doorway. So them rotating off-site to get the kills back, sure, you think, oh, that's good, they need to do that. But then you lose control of sight. You have to try and work your way back in. And as much as what we say about the single doors working against the attackers, equally, if the defenders locked out of sight, they have to go for the same doorways.
Exactly.
10 seconds left before insertion.
I think Falcons did a good job of stabilizing there. It was a round that could have very easily slipped away from them. Stuck to their own win condition though. They are going to bring the hard breach this time. Recognizing it's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
But they are going to be going into the kitchen site, so there is maybe a little bit more need for hard breach on this site in particular, whether you want to get pantry wall open, whether you want to get laundry wall open.
Even a hatch if it's reinforced for laundry, for example.
If you're going to look upstairs, if you're going to want to gain a bit of ground quickly upstairs, you might want to try and deploy one of those Selmas up there as well. So a lot of options here for Falcons. NIP on the flip side, they need to start picking up rounds, Demo, because again, we're finding ourselves in a very similar situation to we were last map.
The lineup of NIP is very aggressive. A lot of operators you kind of coincide with having great guns and great ability to move around the map. You've got, you know, just a myriad of 2-speeds who are very, very potent. And speaking of those 2-speeds, one of them take a dip outside Ollie. Takes a bit of damage, Cons, and does scare away Jalad, but hasn't gotten the kill, which is the most important thing for Falcons in that engagement. They haven't lost that early player. And of course, the sledge, it's one that you want to keep around for the vertical takes.
Absolutely, and more importantly, those grenades. Jalad has been fantastic with those nades today. You're going to want to get a bit of value out of them in this round as well. A little bit different, given that you're dealing with a first floor site, so you're maybe not going to be looking at too many nades from below, but certainly one's going to be attempted here.
It's good info, because now they know he's on the table, so there's no point really wasting grenades on him.
Oh, Moosey just misses his opportunity there. Sees the player fly into 90. J-Lad, what is it with J-Lad at the pistol today? He seems to be drawing for it more often than not. Joker, he's trying to pinch the player here inside of Games. Moosey will find him though. Pino, he's there to back him up. Look at this teamwork, the duo, Pino and Moosey. They're going back to back with one another here, keeping each other safe and locking down that top floor.
Love it from Pino and Moosey. Absolutely love that teamwork. One's under pressure, they call for help, the other one comes to aid. Jalad, he's worked his way downstairs towards bottom of red. But once again, for Falcons, they've lost too many players and they haven't really got a lot to go with. A minute left as well. I think NIP are in really good standing. And Psycho, has he been unchecked? It looks as if he is an absolute freebie. 2 freebies. No, that's the ammo capacity. We've seen that a few times this tournament, Ollie. That Roni. Only the 15 bullets. It is tricky to get more than 1 kill with it.
Doesn't matter if you've got a friend like Moosey knocking around, though. He is going to be there to keep him safe. Much better from NIP. They're playing as a team here. It's like you said, Demo, they've all picked a great gun, they've all picked something that they're comfortable with, and they're just looking to play around one another and just keep each other alive, play for those trades. So far, it's been perfect. There hasn't been a single trade required. This is shaping up to be a flawless round with only 15 seconds left to go. It's kind of all on O-Kills as to whether he wants to give them that flawless round or not. Just going to be hanging around outside, waiting for that clock to run down. Not giving anyone a chance to pad that kill stat, Demo.
Yeah, not giving them an inch. NIP, good round to get back. Don't let Falcons get that momentum. We've seen they're a scary team if they're feeling confident. But NIP still behind, keep that in mind, they're still losing.
They trail by a round.
Yeah. This was great, I love this. Uzi gets one, knowing that obviously this guy swung a 90 earlier. Calls for aid, and he answered.
Let Rohan.
So I tried the reference. I'm glad you've got that. Beacons are lit.
5-4, Falcons, they still lead. Still 1 round away from match point, 2 rounds away from locking out the series. But NIP, are they on the comeback? Are they on the up and up once again here? We've seen them come back quite a few times this tournament so far. Last map was no exception. This map, starting to get those feelings.
NIP get to go for this bomb site choice, which worked well for them, mostly because I think Falcons, Ollie, we both questioned they didn't really bring the correct lineup if they wanted to go for a main stair study take. We were asking maybe a Ying would help them. Well, they've heard us, they've got the Ying.
It goes back to what we were saying, you know, they need to be bringing something that you look, yeah, we'll go and play around that. You can look at the Ying and say, yes, we will play around this Ying.
And they're going study, because the spawns, look, Ruins, if need to know, spawns are everything to know what teams are going to go for. If we've seen the majority of them spawn towards northeast section of the map, it would be a more generic bedroom take, but the fact that we see a big group of them towards Ruins, it will be, again, a similar take where they will try and achieve that main stairs and study. But yeah, the Ying, that's what it's all about. Psycho, he's going to have to be pulled in. He's going to have to be on top of his game. He needs to be in a good position. If I'm not mistaken, Psycho kind of lingers in maps to support not only red stairs, but also can support study if needed.
He's going to be a key player here on Warden, though. Wizard likely going to feel the pressure a little bit more than he did previously. I'm not expecting Falcons to go one at a time up these main stairs. It's going to more likely be a good amount of burn and then a big old burst of Ying Candelas to try and deal with him. B9 will be below. Giving himself a couple of lines of sight. This should be a freebie grenade if we can get it landed correctly. O-Kills. A little bit lucky there with that one as Cons moved at the last second, but it's a kill nonetheless.
What's in the throwing arms today of Falcons? They've got a lot of kills from below, Ollie.
They're doing fantastically.
Heat Seekers.
Updates as well, you know, they fell out of fashion for a little bit because they did become quite difficult to do. Obviously, the damage got a little bit reworked on them. They're not always as guaranteed as you'd like them to be.
NIP, their grip does exist if needed. You're playing Doc, Psycho. What's the difference?
NIP falling like flies here. Psycho left in the clutches. Uzi fall into a Claymore, he's got it down on the stairs. Will look to try and confirm it. Could find himself a second. He knows everything at this point, but still gets full white flash.
I hate it.
The Warden.
I hate it.
Oh, it happened again.
It's nothing I hate more than that. A Warden getting flashed.
That happened yesterday.
Oh.
I'm not sure. I think it might have been Psycho that it happened to yesterday as well.
Tells me so much. One thing I hate.
Chuck the goggles on. They last forever.
Just. Sorry, I got angry there. Don't know why, just something spoke to me there.
Falcons, now only 1 round away. Some great play inside of this round.
Oh, what a shot.
They had everything covered, though.
They're actually going to be NIP.
They had everything covered.
Falcons, I can't believe it. Honestly, they blinder of a series from them.
I'm so glad that they didn't go for that main stairs push. The Ying was obviously intended for study at a later point inside of the round. So glad they didn't go for that main stairs. Just using those nades from below, gathering that information. They've been good at it. They're good at gathering that info. Tactical timeout here for NIP. Is it too late?
I feel as though it is.
NIP need 2 rounds to stay in this thing and take us into an overtime.
Two
Falcons,
defenses?
they need 1.
2 defenses on Villa without their beloved Castle.
Even without Castle, it doesn't seem like a massive ask.
Well, this is where Castle's really good for this bomb site. This is where NIP would use that. They would place Castle barricades on the 2 windows inside of bedroom. They would combo that alongside the mirror window. They would really fortify that position of the map as much as they can. NIP cannot do that. So I wonder what the change is going to be. Obviously, they still went with the mirror. But obviously, they're not going to have that same kickback, aren't they? Obviously, it's going to be the Valkyrie they're rotating in, which, you know, Psycho, obviously, he plays the Castle for this. So more information, but it feels so information for Falcons, they don't really care. The way they're playing, like, you don't have to be a rocket science to realize that, yeah, they're probably going to go below and try and nade you. You don't need a camera to tell you that.
Yeah, Falcons aren't always skulking around the map, are they? They're quite often announcing themselves, whether it was shooting through floors, throwing nades from below. There's no secret as to where you are if you're nading from below. But it just brings a C4. So I've got 3 of them. So you'd maybe look for a bit more vertical presence. Give Falcons something to really think about in terms of clearing out that kitchen area. But of course, you can rotate into it a little bit later on into the round as well. Wizard, the roaming mirror. Why not?
Ooh, P9. That's a lot of damage. You can see some holes have been opened up. The NIP, again, prepping for Falcons going below. This is what I mean. It's expected for Falcons to be down here, and I'm glad to see NIP have caught on to that. They've taken out 1 set of nades. Wizard, is he ready to pounce? The clock chimes. Is it for him? Is it for Falcons?
Jayla gets chunked down as well here. Wizard playing these back stairs very cautiously here, but he's got the teamwork of comms with him. No, gets downed and finished off. The impact there thrown as a last-ditch attempt. J-Lad, he now joins the fray. He's going to pick up that down onto comms, but a lot of damage has been done already inside of this round. Half of it remains. NIP, they've got double the man count available.
J-Lad, what's he going to do? Moves in, has a punch hole there, looking towards red. Does he know that Wizard's right beside him on the other side of the wall? Wizard creeps in. Is he gonna give himself up? Ooh, this is tense. Don't sledge at the wrong time. You see something. There is someone there, and will confirm the kill. Oh, Wizard, unlucky time. And it almost worked for him. Jalad was ready to sledge that, and then I would say it probably would be a 1v4 instead of a 2 versus 3.
Still winnable from Falcons from this position. It just takes NIP to overpeak, which is something that they've kind of been known for. It has happened. Quib's going to be at the top of Astro Stairs, just has a bit of barbed wire to deal with. J-Lad put himself into bathroom here. Pino, he's going to quickly shut down Quibs. Looks as though J-Lad has a little bit of info here. He's going to try and break this down, and he's not going to be able to. Can't even transition out of bathroom there. Muzi in position to finish him off. That's half of the job done, NIP. You've just got to get 1 more round.
1 more round. That's it. That's all they need. NIP were ready. They knew that the nades from below were going to be coming in, and they set up appropriately. Oh, that's a run out. That's how Con's got the kill. He was everywhere. Finds the kill there, finds almost a second one. Good refrag from Wizard. And then NIP obviously with not a lot of manpower for Falcons. It was difficult for them to get into a position where they could try and get into the bomb site. But NIP still not out of the woods yet. 1 round is what they need to take it to overtime.
Again, we look at the lineup here, and NIP have brought things that they like. They've not gone for operators as much as they've gone for guns. This is what we like to see from NIP when they're in this position. Think back to a couple of rounds ago when they played for guns more than they played for operators. They did fantastically well. They were trading off the back. In fact, they didn't even need to trade. It was almost flawless. But they were there to back each other up, and they were there to double pinch, etc. So that's really what you want to be seeing at the moment if you're NIP.
But we do see a change, though, from Falcons, probably in response. A line comes in. That's going to help them with assisting in those engagements, assisting with the roam game. As the Valkyrie cameras come in, going to be placed towards bedroom side. getting the information as best as they can. Obviously, you can combo the C4s as well. A lot, you know, the majority of Villa top floor, I think 80% of it is C4able from below. So there is going to be opportunities for them. It's just, can they pick the right one? Falcons, I would say they're going to go pretty, you know, direct here. See the sledge already up towards the bedroom balcony. And I think for Falcons, it's probably better to go minimalistic here because we've seen the full extension just didn't work. NIP were very slippery in their own presence, like you attested to, Ollie, as well. They were very good at working in their pairs, working in twos. So if Falcons can just, you know, work less and give themselves as best of opportunity, give themselves as best of an opportunity as they can, just to do minimalistic things and still come out of around win, that'll suit them nicely.
That's the thing, they've just got to be cautious of the C4s here once they start getting themselves in and get working.
Didn't spot the bedroom cam.
That's going to be a little bit of a problem. There's a bathroom cam up as well. It would be nice to see Quibs go down and try and get that pantry wall open and just eliminate some of the ability to sit in there. Cons, not only is he sat there with that information, but he's also got the potential of running up there and doing something about it as well. Be cautious to drone him out. Cons will eventually be found. Might just force him back a little bit. Okill's going to take the challenge, but Muzi hits him with the swing.
Pino.
Must have been full white there, or at least close to. But that goes back to, again, what we were talking about. It's not just one tracer load of bullets coming through, it's two. Joker will find the refrag, though.
Yeah, again, Pino Muzi, brilliant from them, being able to double up, pinch, take their engagements. Muzi has himself killed, though, as he stayed too long towards 90. Here's the C4 rip. This is what I mean. Opportunities will come to try and kill from below. But Cons isn't going for it at the moment. Probably doesn't have enough information. Has he been misdroned? Surely not. The back of kitchen, you need to get that droned. You should expect for someone to be there. It's a safe position for defenders that tuck themselves in away from harm. But Falcons now, they're starting to move in towards the mid floor, Ollie. This is where they need to start thinking about an execute. They've opened up Laundry. They have Joker, who's now starting to maybe rotate towards the fuse carrier, so they will have some pressure. But look at Jalad, he's actually moving up in towards the China stairs, Ollie.
I'm not sure that they know about Cons here as well, and that could really be quite crucial if Jalad does choose to push in here. Cons still has a C4 available, and time is running out here for Falcons. Wizard takes a chunk load of damage as he tries to battle back on the players coming through. Laundry gets a very important down, but it's essentially a 2 versus 2 here. 5 seconds, diffuser cold. Joker, he's got the pistol in hand. He's found himself 3. You've got to grab the last. The pistol does it! Falcons! They lock themselves into the playoffs here.
My goodness, a double pistol kill to finish the series. The little team that could. The little team that could.